Welcome to Bees Balanced Basics for Basic Bees. We're going to use some really basic vinyasa yoga to create strength and functional flexibility. We're going to start in Shavasana. That might look totally different for you than it does for me. I recommend a bold set of blocks or a bolster under the knees for optimum comfort. Maybe some padding under the hips or the head. You're going to get settled in a Shavasana, a corpse pose that works for you. So maybe the feet are a little wider than the mat, the arms are totally spread out. Take up space, own the room around you, and get totally comfortable. Take yourself to a place that you can maintain. So for the next couple minutes, we can start to tune into the breath and then to create it. So settle in, shake your head side to side. Wiggle your fingers. Roll your feet in and out. Wiggle your toes. And start to soften where you can, totally disengaging through your belly. Let your buttocks grow soft against your mat. And let the weight of your head sink. Once you feel ready, turn your awareness to your natural breath without making any changes. Just bring it in and out of your nose and begin to take a good, honest look at how you've been habitually breathing. Notice your natural breath with no judgment, almost like you would tune in to the crazy, wild activity of a small child. Just curiosity and playfulness. Notice the length of your exhale. How much do you habitually breathe out? And then notice the length of your inhale. How much does the belly and chest rise and fall with the breath? How much mobility do you have through the rib cage, through the collarbones? Don't change it, just leave it. And then turn your awareness to that moment of transition as you shift from in-breath to out-breath. What's that moment of shift like? Maybe there's a totally natural pause. Don't change that either. Become aware of all of the places where the breath feels really easy and open, effortless. But also the places where it feels like it needs a little more attention or space. This is your natural breath. It's actually kind of perfect for your practice, so you're welcome to use it at any time. But let's cultivate something a little bigger, a little deeper. Start to extend your exhales. Squeeze out the out-breath. Once you let the belly drop, the rib cage drop, the collarbones drop, and totally squeeze out the breath a few times, you can start to let the inhale bloom up as well, taking a few more sips of air at the top of every in-breath. So as the exhale completes, the inhale can complete as well. Then you can start to notice that moment of transition, that natural pause, and smooth it out. So you shift smoothly from inhale to exhale. And then you can become a little more aware of the length of the in-breath, the length of the out-breath. Start to make them pretty much the same. So you've got balance, you've got smoothness, you've got some depth. This is your yoga breath. It's in and out through your nose. It's deep. It's smooth. And it's balanced. So any shifts from this breath, any changes in the quality of the breath, simply mean that you should slow down, stop entirely, or take a delicious break, maybe here in Shavasana, maybe in Child's Pose or on your belly, and reconnect with your breath. So the quality of your breath is the quality of your practice. Notice the breath you've cultivated. How does it feel to breathe like this? And notice the level of awareness that you have on the breath. What's that like? We're going to keep both breath and awareness as we begin to move through our practice. As you begin to move through your practice, you're going to maintain a connection to this breath that you've cultivated. So breathing deep, balanced, and slow, start to invite some movement into the body. Wiggle your fingers, move your toes, maybe roll the ankles and wrists. Move in whatever small way feels good. You might inhale the arms over the head. Exhale the knees into the chest in a hug a couple times. Whatever you do throughout our time together, you're going to move with your breath, not so much with my voice. So get used to following a rhythm that you like. You might begin to add some little rolls to the side into those hugs you're doing. Inhaling, stretching out, exhaling, coming to fetal pose and rolling to your favorite side. Inhaling, stretching back out, and exhaling, rolling to the other side. Roll side to side a few times, waking up slowly. When you are ready, you're going to stay there for a moment and rest in fetal pose. And then push your way up, coming to all fours. Knees will be under the hips, hands will be under the shoulders. It's nice to double pad the knees. I'm on my fists because my wrists are always sensitive. We're going to come into cat-cow. We'll inhale to drop the belly towards the mat and gaze up. We'll exhale to reverse it, lifting the spine. And then as you find a couple cat-cows, begin to wiggle it out, like rock your hips side to side, roll your head, move in whatever way feels good and intelligent for you. And feel free to slow that cat-cow down. Spend some time in cat, giving some love between the shoulder blades. Spend some time in cow, giving love to the core of the chest. When you're over it, you'll take a big breath, and then on your exhale, you'll tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, and take your time to downward dog. Hips, hands will be pretty much shoulder width. Feet will be pretty much hip width. Fingers begin to spread, hands turn out a little as the toes spread and ground. Wiggle it out, like rock your head side to side. Lift one heel up while you press the other heel down. Rock your hips around and take some time to move before you find stillness. The chest will press through. The heels will reach back. Fingers spread even more. And when you're over it, you'll simply rest. Take a moment maybe in child's pose or just come to all fours. We'll inhale the right leg up. Take a breath, inhale the left arm up, and take a couple lifts and lowers here in spinal balance. The belly's firm. And when you're ready, we'll kick the right leg over to the left, gazing at it. Keeping the foot flexed, we'll send it over all the way to the right, still following it with our gaze. It's what we call hip hiker. You'll breathe steady and slow, taking a couple kicks to the right, as much as possible, keeping the right foot flexed in line, flat with the floor. And then we'll take a little spinal balance on the other side. Left arm up, right arm up, a couple slow breaths, maybe a few lifts and lowers. Taking your way into hip hiker, dropping the right arm, kicking the left leg back towards the right and looking at it. And then inhaling, sending it all the way out to the left, foot flexed, flat with the floor. Go back and forth. Hike that leg over to the left a few times and breathe. When you're over it, you're welcome to rest, child's pose, hips to the heels. I'm taking some time in puppy, keeping my hips elevated, walking my hands forward, and finding my breath there. It's a little lower back, friendlier version of child's pose, a little more time in the shoulders. If resting isn't your thing, you're just right into downward dog anytime you want for as long as you want. You want a little more work in this one. Inhale the right leg up, keep the hip closed. Flex the foot and draw the foot towards the glute for a second of tight squeeze, a little hamstring strength. Exhale that foot down. When you're over it, inhale the other foot up. Keep it closed and flexed. On an exhale, draw the heel into the glute. Squeeze it and let it go. Take a few slow, still breaths in downward dog. And then you'll let it go, coming back to all fours. Do some rotations through the hip. We'll squeeze a block between the right calf and the right hamstring. Give it a strong squeeze. You don't want to leave it. Keep the lower back flat and take some rotations both directions. You're envisioning, as one of my favorite teachers, Ryan Rico, says, a bottle of scotch on your back. You don't want to drop it. Not a scotch drink. You're more of a vodka girl. But anyways, keep your beverage on your back flat. Keep that really strong squeeze. You'll feel the hamstring fire. A foot flex is going to help there. And maybe once you get up there and rotate a few times, you take a couple pumps of the foot towards the ceiling. Wake up that glute. Other side, when you're ready, squeeze the block between the left calf and the left thigh. Fire the foot, flex it, and take a few rotations. Keeping the belly firm, the lower back as possible, stable, and everything else as still as possible. You can see how much my lower back and hip are moving as my legs moving. That's not like totally ideal. So you'll notice where your actual rotation's coming from. So breathe. Keep your face and your jaw soft. Whatever we do through this class, the face is lightly smiling, jaw is relaxed, or you are just taking a break. Drop the block, take a big breath in, and on an exhale, come back to downward dog. More work, inhale the right leg up. And take a few of those rotations that we just did. Envision that you have a block there, a strong squeeze between the calf and the hamstring. Maybe a couple pumps of the foot towards the sky as you switch directions. So finding some functional range of motion through the hips here with this controlled rotation. If you don't like it, just hang out in downward dog or rest anytime in child's pose or on your belly. Exhale that foot down after you've done a couple rotations with the left leg in both directions. Maybe you want to rock, inhale forward to plank, exhale back up to downward dog a couple times. Pump up the cardio, get the heart rate moving so that you can slow it back down again with the breath. Again, feel free to rest if you like. This is where you could start doing some vinyasas or push-ups if they're in your practice. But pretty much anywhere through this practice where I'm not doing vinyasas and push-ups, you are welcome to do them. I'm in some baby cobras here, just lifting through the heart. And then coming back up when you're ready to downward dog. We'll step the feet through, take a moment, Uttanasana, forward fold. Since you're so close to your feet, maybe take a few rotations around them as you start to spread and ground the toes. Begin to move in whatever way feels nice for you, bending and unbending through the knees. Taking a couple inhaled lifts and exhaled lowers with the upper body. I've always got a soft knee bend as I have a slightly sensitive lower back. We'll inhale up and exhale through heart center. And then move, shake it out, take a few rotations and standing. If you want to drop it, pop it, lock it, I don't even know what that is, but do it. Dance a bit or just breathe. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach up and over to the right side, little side bend, and then take one to the left. We'll come back to mountain pose. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, folding again, walk, stepping, or floating back to downward dog. Get there how you like. Hang out in downward dog for 3 to 5 breaths. Or take a rest like I am, grabbing a little bit of a drink. So you're resting at any time. You're down dogging at any time if resting is not your thing. We're eventually going to meet back in downward dog. You might still be there. And then we'll step the right foot forward, taking a moment in runner's lunge. You might reach up and breathe, anchoring the hands together by hooking the thumbs. Fancy transition, just step back and step the left foot forward. Take a moment in runner's lunge. Feel free to hook the thumbs for a little bit of grounding. You'll step back when you're ready to downward dog. Shake it all out again. Find the breath. Step the right foot through again. Reach up, runner's lunge. Just starting to create a little more warmth, a little more sweat before we come into our sun salute. Step it back with the right foot. Step it through with the left. Take a moment in runner's lunge. Right knee down. You can always lift the right knee. Breathe there. Step back when you're over it, downward dog, chaturanga anytime, push up anytime, rest whenever you like. One more time, step the right foot through to runner's lunge. You might want a little swimmer motion with the arms, pressing the hands away from the back of the head and the back of the body. This is a Rhino Rico move. I love it. Releasing that side, stepping the right foot back on an exhale. Breathing, stepping the left foot through. On the next exhale, reaching up into runner's lunge again. Maybe that swimmer motion with the arms. Maybe just the hands to the mat. Breathe, move how you like, and then release that. Come back to downward dog for a couple breaths. On an exhale, walk the feet between the hands. Take some time in forward fold uttanasana. Again, you're close to your feet. So start to spread and ground all the toes. Can you press down all the toes except the big one, just lifting the big one? And then can you press down the big one and lift all the other ones? Try that. You'll roll up, rise up on an inhale in your own time, coming back up to mountain pose, hands to heart center, feet hip width, toes grounded and pressing. Your inhale, you'll reach up. Your exhale, you'll bow forward. Your inhale, you'll keep the knees softly bent to lift halfway and then step back with the right foot. On an exhale, reaching up on the inhale, runner's lunge. We've been here before. Breathe a bit. Let it go on the exhale, dropping the hands, stepping the foot back to downward dog. Chaturanga if you like it. Push-ups anytime, or just right into downward dog and hanging out. I'm more of a half chat kind of girl. We'll be back in downward dog, and we'll find that runner's lunge eventually on the other side. Breathe a bit. And then step the right foot forward on an exhale, letting the left knee drop. Reaching up, low lunge. You can always do high lunge. Heart's lifted, face is soft. You can let the right knee move over the right ankle. That's totally fine. On your exhale, step both foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway, exhale to let it go. And inhale to find your way all the way up to mountain pose, exhaling through heart center. One more time, the lunges. Inhale, reach up, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, offer the heart. Exhale, step it back, left foot this time. Inhale, rising up to that runner's lunge. Maybe a little twist, exhaling left elbow to right knee. For more work, float it. Don't contact the left elbow to the right knee. Let it go on an inhale, untwisting, rising up. Exhale, drop the hands, step the right foot back into downward dog and breathe. Rest anytime, push-ups anytime. We'll find our way back through a runner's lunge, stepping the left foot forward, letting the right knee drop, reaching up, and then exhaling into that twist if you like, floating the right elbow over the left knee for more strength. You're doing what allows you your steady breath or your resting. Let that go in an exhale, step the right foot forward and fold forward. Inhale is that half lift. Exhale, fold again, and our inhale takes us back up to standing, exhaling through heart center. If you'd like the lunges, keep them. If you don't, we'll leave them out. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to walk, step, float, jump back, however you get there. Get to downward dog, push up or chaturanga en route, or just step into dog. We'll breathe there for a bit, and then we'll walk, step, float back forward to uttanasana, lifting halfway. Exhaling to let it go and rising all the way back up on an inhale. So classic sun salute. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Walk, step, or float it back. Left foot leads, downward dog. Steady, slow, smooth breaths. On your exhale, walk, step, or float it through to forward fold and inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release that fold again and inhale, rise all the way up. Sit back in a chair, sink back into your heels, spread and ground your toes, reach forward. Want a little more work, start to inhale, rise up on the heels. Exhale, drop the booty down. Couple lifts and lowers with the booty, working a balance. Letting that ankle do its work as a hinge. On your exhale, fold, knees can stay softly bent. You'll inhale to offer the heart and exhale, walk, step, or float back to downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, exhale towards the left elbow, inhale towards center, and then exhale towards the right elbow. It's a little knee to nose action. When you're over it, you'll step the right foot between the hands, finding warrior one. Maybe the left heel grounds, maybe it lifts a little to let the right thigh draw back and the right hip, the left hip square. You want some mobility, some motion. Bow a little bit, inhale, reach forward, and exhale, reach up, or just stay right where you are. When you're over it, exhale, drop the hands down, step it back. It's downward dog or vinyasa. A little of that knee to nose if you're interested, inhaling the left leg up and exhaling it towards the right elbow, the nose, and then the left elbow. Feel free to do this a bunch of times and then step the left foot between the hands when you're ready to warrior one. Left thigh draws back in the hip as the right hip draws forward. The belly firms, face is always soft. And maybe you bow a few times, using your core strength and not your momentum to take a little fold. Exhaling to drop the hands and release all of that back into downward dog. And a few big breaths, maybe some sighs out. Falling out breath here as you start to get warm. On your exhale, you'll walk, step, or float the feet between the hands. You'll inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to rise halfway, and then inhale, rise all the way up. Take it down to the booty. Sit, and it's what we call boat. Knees draw in, heart lifts up. Maybe you stay there. You might go for like a harder boat with the shins parallel to the floor. Yeah. Or an all the way boat with the feet all the way floated up. That doesn't suit my lower back. But then you'll take it into thunderbolt. Suck the knees into the chest, cross the ankles, drop the hands, draw everything into a tight ball. Squeeze, 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 and breathe. And then come back to boat and breathe again. So we're not dropping the feet. We're keeping them floating. And we're finding this deep core strength, this psoas power, pulling the knees to the chest. Come back into thunderbolt. Drop the hands, cross the feet, drop the head. If the forehead touches the knees, keep it there for a couple slow breaths. Everything pulls in tight, face is soft, but the rest of you strong. And then you come back to boat. Lift the heart. Draw the knees in a little closer. So this is our inversion power, our floating strength. When you're ready, let it go. Step, walk, or float back, downward dog. Shake it all out. Feel free to stay there or take a moment in child's pose or wide knee child's pose. If you don't want to rest, don't rest. So let the exhales slow down so the inhales can deepen. Control the breath. Want a little shoulder love. Feed the left arm under the body, palm up. Twisted child's pose. If this is too much on your lower back, just walk your hips up. Take it into puppy, twisted puppy. Switch sides at your own pace. Sending the left arm forward, the right arm under the body, palm up. And when you're over resting, you're welcome to come back to downward dog or take a moment in puppy, hips up, head down. Puppy is a great place to be if you're ever over downward dog. So you're down dogging, you're puppying, your child's posing. And eventually we're all going to meet in downward dog. You might want a block within reach as we start to go into our standing poses. Inhale the right leg up, exhale, step it between the hands. Find warrior one. Again, back heel can lift. You might not be able to drop that back heel down. Bring the hands to heart center for balance. Start to drop the back knee. Just float it above the floor, a little tap to the floor. You'll start to feel some fire through the glutes. Keep your face soft. Toes are spread and grounded. We're coming into warrior three. Right leg takes all of our weight. You might have a strong knee or a soft bend. Back heel's kicking back and belly is drawing in. All you got to do is kick and breathe as the left heel drops towards the mat. Kick and breathe. Bring your gaze to the floor. Soft face. We're sinking back into that warrior and taking a few movements through warrior three and warrior one. So drop the back knee down. Step it back into warrior three. Drop the left foot down. Drop the back knee down. And step it back into warrior three. A little bit of booty work here. Inhale, reach up. When you're through, exhale, drop your hands and step it back to downward dog. Left leg will inhale up, exhale through. Inhale, you'll rise up to warrior one. Back heel can lift. And we'll lift and lower the right knee for a little glute fire. We'll take some time in warrior three. And then we'll put these two movements together. So sink the knee down a couple times and then rise up for 3 to 5 slow breaths in warrior three. Kick through the back leg. Mine isn't even that beautiful. It's kind of a hot mess right now. So kick through the back leg. Should be straight and strong and flat. When you're over it, drop it back down to that warrior. Drop the knee a couple times and start to push back up warrior three. Back to the knee drop. You'll start to feel those legs, those glutes fire up. So do this only as many times as you can do it with control. You can see me start to losing that control. And then we'll come back to the ground, inhaling, reaching up in warrior one. Exhale, dropping the hands, stepping the left foot back, and coming into downward dog. Rest at any time. Take a chaturanga or a few push-ups. Meeting back in downward dog. Breathe. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Rise up into warrior one, just as a way station to find warrior two. Stance widens. Right toe pigeon toes in. You sink into the left knee. And if you want some movement, begin to press into the right foot, straighten the front knee, reach the arms up, and then sink. Reach the arms out, press into the front knee again. So a little lift and lower if you like it. Coming to side angle, left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches over the ear. Maybe you stay there, pressing down into the outside edge of the right foot. And you take a few rotations with the left arm. For even more work, use that swimmer motion, hands pressing away from the lower back and head. Whole body elevated. Let it go when you're over it. Drop the hands back down to the mat, stuff the left foot back, vinyasa, or just downward dog. Breathe. Right leg will step through on an exhale. You'll inhale, rise up to warrior one, just to find warrior two. Left toe, pigeon toes. Right heel pretty much in line with the left arch, and then a few raise and lowers, bending and unbending the right knee, lifting and lowering the arms. Feel free to stay still and just breathe. Find side angle, right forearm to right thigh, left arm over the ear, left rib cage rolling open. Maybe the left arm rotates. Maybe both arms in that swimmer motion, no pressure on the head or the back. Keep spreading and grounding through all of the toes, pressing down through the big toe. Use your inhale to come back up to warrior two, your exhale to drop it back down to downward dog, and your breath. Vinyasa anytime. We're meeting back in downward dog. Stepping the left foot through on an exhale, walking it to the left edge of the mat and bringing the hands to center. In yin, we call it dragon pose, or wide dragon. So a little wider than our usual runner's lunge. Breathe there. Stretchy people can drop their forearms down to the mat. For a little more work, tuck the back toe. Take a few lifts and lowers with the right knee. And then keep the right knee straight and strong. A few rocks forward and back with the right foot. Take it for a moment to deer. Walk the right knee to the left. Let both knees bend. Right foot walks up. You might want to block to support the weight of your left hand. See if you can lift just the front leg. Couple strong pigeon lifts of the front leg. See how well that works. And then try the back. So you're strengthened external rotation front versus internal rotation back. And then try to float both legs up. When you're done finding your strength in pigeon, find a little flap, walk yourself forward, drop your forearms to the mat, maybe to a block, maybe head to a block, and breathe, a little stretch time. Keep the left foot strongly flexed. Start to let the face relax, the hands go soft. We'll switch sides by swinging the right leg around and taking a few boat sit-ups. Feel free to just hang out in boat. Feel free to not use the hands, but you can drop the hands behind you, exhaling out into long boat, inhaling into regular boat. Feeling free to add a little twisty stuff there, rocking over to the side of the hip. And then we'll send the left leg back, the right leg to the right side of the mat, the hands to the center. A few moments in wide dragon, shake your head out, soften your jaw, maybe side out, falling out breaths. For a little more strength, pop that back toe to the mat, pop the back knee up a few times. Then keep the knee strong, find some foot strength, rock the back foot forward and back. Take your time making your way to deer, walking the right knee over to the right foot up, maybe close to 90. Left knee bending. Both legs at 90, and if it works for you, lift the front leg a few times. Lift the back leg a few times. See which one works better. And when you're done finding your strength, drop your weight forward and take some time in a softer version of deer, letting the tops of the shoulders melt down. The belly can begin to relax here. Even the hands grow soft. Just keep the right foot flexed. So a slightly friendlier version of pigeon, a little less edgy. If this does nothing for you, you're welcome to send the back leg back and extend it, closing the hips and coming into pigeon pose. We'll swing the back leg around one more time and take some time in boat. Arms extend forward, knees draw into the chest, feet either flexed or pointed will keep you interested. Take it into thunderbolt, cross the ankles, draw the knees into the chest, drop the forehead and breathe. Couple slow breaths, everything tightens. Switch your bolt, cross your ankles a different way, keep breathing, keep your head squeezed in tight. Breathe, 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 and then come back to boat one last time. In and out, slow, steady breaths. Lift your heart, draw your belly in. And you might want to let it go with a moment in butterfly. Give it a generous butterfly, feet far out from the body. A little fold from the hips. Head can drop. Feel free to support the head. Breathe here in butterfly, spending a little time with that area you just strengthened through the core. And then lay all the way down on your back. We'll take some time in back bend. So if you're like a full-on back bender with a full wheel, you can go for it. I'm taking a block between my knees with a nice squeeze, feet hip width, hand shoulder width to find baby bridge. And then once I get up there, I'm inhaling my arms up, hips and arms going up together, and then exhaling, arms and hips slowly roll down together. If that's too much on your neck, you're welcome to just hang up in baby bridge. Plant the hands to the mat, lift the hips, squeeze that block, and stay there and breathe. Spread and ground the toes, firm the thighs, squeeze that block but not your face. And you'll let it go on an exhale. Inhale the knees up, keep the block. You'll exhale, hover the knees to the right, inhaling them to center, and then hover them to the left. So it's a little twist, but also some core work. Keep your jaw soft, your face relaxed. Ditch the block. It's nice if you put it under the left knee, left thigh to let the knees drop to the left and the gaze come to the right in a little twist. If you have a fancy twist in your life, go for that. Otherwise, Simple supine twist, knees left, gaze right. Breath soft and steady. You're beginning to regain that grip on the breath, extending the exhale so that you can deepen the inhale, slowing the heart down with mindful breath. And then breath by breath, piece by piece, rocking first the head and then the knees to center. Dropping the knees to the right onto the support of a block maybe, and gazing to the left if it works for your neck. A few sighs out. Might be nice in the twist, the falling out breath. Slowing down the heart rate every time on the exhale. Bringing us a little closer to the stillness and bliss of our Shavasana. Use your inhale, come back to center. Feel free to hug your knees into your chest, rock yourself side to side. If happy baby's in your practice, go for it. If there's anything you need to close off your yoga, do that as long as it's wise and safe. But we're going to end back where we started in Shavasana. My teacher, Fred Bush, always used to say, if your hair's tied up, take your hair down. So hair ties out, ladies and gents, so that you can lay all the way down. Blocks or bolsters under the knees is so nice. Padding under the hip and the head is great. Welcome back to where we started. Make it just as comfortable as that place we began with. Rocking your head side to side. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking up a little more space than usual, spreading the feet and spreading the hands. Make sure that you're comfortable. This is a place that you can maintain. And bring your awareness back to your breath. Notice all of that depth, smoothness, balance that you created, and begin to let it go. Begin to use the breath you would use on the edge of sleep, where you witness the breath and all of its changes, but you no longer need to control it. As the breath goes natural, the body can go heavy. One last time, separate your upper from your lower jaw, wiggle it out, and let your tongue relax at the base of your mouth. This gives your body the signal to settle. Find a hint of a smile on your lips to remind yourself why you're here. And then begin to soften through the eyelids, through the eyeballs, letting the center of the forehead smooth out and the eyebrows spread apart. Let the softness of your face influence your mind and your body. You can feel the back of your head growing heavy as you just breathe. The shoulders sinking back under the weight of your natural breath. Let your upper arms grow heavy and roll out. Sink the weight of your elbows to the mat and feel your forearms surrendering. Let the backs of the hands grow a little heavier, the palms a little softer. Take a moment to spread and then melt the fingers. The shoulders sink beneath you as the chest softens under the natural breath. Feel that softness spreading through the belly, the whole back body. Take a moment to totally disengage your strong core. Let your hips and buttocks grow soft. And feel the whole upper body sinking into the mat under the influence of your natural and easy breath. Let your strong thighs grow heavy. Maybe they roll out a bit. The backs of your knees can sink into your blocks or your mat. Feel the weight of the heels. And take a moment to soften through the calves and through the shins as the heels grow heavier. Let the feet roll out. The tops and bottoms of the feet grow a little softer. And take a moment to spread and then melt your toes just like you did with your fingers. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mat, totally supported. Feel the influence of your natural breath. So with our practice and our pranayama, we've brought mindful breath into every part of the body. And now all we need to do is rest and enjoy the effects of our practice. So you're going to make sure this is a comfortable place. Make any last minute adjustments. And then commit to remaining still, remaining in touch with your natural breath for a few moments as we rest together. Take your time, enjoy it. You've earned it. I'll wake you up in a few moments and we'll close off our time together. And to draw your awareness back to your breath and find those deeper exhales, fuller inhales that we cultivated all throughout our time together. And let that deeper breath draw you back to your physical body. Start to take some little exploratory wiggles of your fingers and your toes. Take a couple big sighs out, the falling out breaths. Letting what no longer suits you leave on the exhale. When you feel ready, start to move through the fingers, the toes, the ankles, the wrists. Slowly make your way towards fetal position on your favorite side, eyes closed. Take a moment to rest there, reconnecting with your breath, noticing any changes in the breath, the body, the mind. Welcome back. Welcome home. You are the person you find on your mat. Take yourself up to a comfortable cross-legged seat. Bring your hands to heart center and take a moment to thank yourself as I thank you for our time together. Namaste. Much love.